Hello, everyone, and welcome to this introductory session on the massive open online course on disaster risk reduction and management. I'm Dr. Ankur Bhogayata, Professor and Head, Department of Civil Engineering at Marwadi University, Rajkot, Gujarat, India. Friends, I have come today to introduce this MOOC course to all of you by raising some important questions. I'm very sure that by going through these questions, it will inspire not only you to join the course, but also take active participation in all the associated activities, events, lectures, sessions, and many more activities. Those have been planned for all of you in this MOOC course. So for uh, introduction, I will take you to the brief about this course. If we go through the introduction of this course, the main objective of this course is to equip undergraduate students with foundational knowledge and practical skills in disaster risk assessment, preparedness, mitigation, and response. So, you will be learning about all these attributes in this course, which prepare you as a civilian, as a society person, or as a human being, what we should do and what care should be taken, how the planning of the disaster is done for disaster is done, and how we can mitigate the impacts of the disasters. So the course duration is 14 weeks, which includes three sessions per week. A total 42 online sessions are planned. Each of them will be around 45 to 50 minutes. The course credits are 4, and there is no prerequisite. Any of the students from any stream, any background, from any higher engineering institute or the university can participate, can take up this course. The assessment of this course will be done in two parts. First part is 30% of the assignments, which includes three assignments of 10% weightage. And second is the 70% weightage for the proctored exam at the end of the course. That will be taken by the SWAYAM authorities in the online platforms. So these are the questions, friends, that we can answer within this session, just to give you an idea what is this course about and why you should join this course. So the first is, what is the disaster? Second is, why should we learn about disaster, why it is important? Third is, how the knowledge and information of disaster will help us. If you don't know about disaster, and if you know about the disaster, how it will matter to you, that is going to be discussed. What are the risks of disasters and their impacts on human life? Can we prepare ourselves to reduce the challenges of the disaster? And finally, what is the management in the disasters? So, in this quick introductory session, we will try to answer these questions, and that will encourage you to join this course also. So, what is a disaster? It's a serious disruption of the functioning of community or a society at any scale to hazardous events interacting with conditions of exposure, vulnerability, and capacity, leading to one or more the following losses, which includes the human loss, the material loss, the economic loss, and finally the environmental losses. It can be broadly divided in two parts. One is a natural disaster, and second is the man-made disaster. However, we will be dealing with all the natural types of the disasters in this MOOC course. Second question is, why should we learn about the disasters? There are three major reasons for that. One is to enhance preparedness and safety. Second is to reduce vulnerability and build resilience. And second is to improve response and recovery efforts. These three are the major reasons why we should learn about disasters. Then the third question is how the knowledge and information of disaster will help us. So There are three phases generally identified for the associated with the disaster. One is before disaster, second is during disaster, and third is the after disaster. So throughout these three phases, it is very important to have knowledge, information, and planning aspects known to us that will help us to survive better during any disastrous situations, which includes the community preparedness initiatives, insurance and financial plannings, some home and property safety measures that can be taken, assembling about the emergency kits, developing plans, and finally the risk assessment. So all this are the kind of pre-disaster preparedness sequence. Similarly, what we need to do during the disaster, what steps can be taken after the disaster, that also will be discussed later into the course once it starts. What are the major risks associated with the disaster and their impacts on human lives? Basically, any disaster impacts significantly on all these aspects which we have mentioned over here, which includes the hazardous exposure. It may be radiation, it may be any sort of other hazardous conditions that may be come across during or due to the disaster, which reduces the infrastructural facility. That means we result in having inadequate infrastructural facilities due to the impact of the disasters, like broken bridges, roadways, railways, and other pipelines and other supplies are getting disturbed during the disasters. So these are the significant impacts on the facilities that we have during the disaster or due to the disaster. Finally, the environmental degradation, that is one of the most significant risks which is associated due to the disaster. So we may have the flooded farms, we have the impact on the agricultural lands, the forests, or we can face the droughts and lot many other challenges due to the various type of disasters. Finally, the disaster may increase poverty and inequality. That means some of the people or specific community, those are having a limited source of income, they get more impacted, and they also may lose their properties, their financial setup, and which disturbs their overall lives for a long or permanent time. So that is also one of the more major risks associated with the disastrous impacts. And finally, lack of preparedness. So if you are not ready to resist the impact of the disasters, it may be more vulnerable, more critical. So these are the major risks associated with the disasters, and we must take care about all these aspects. Then how can we remain prepared against the possible challenges of the disasters? There are several ways of doing it. One is family disaster plan. You must have a local plan which is prepared in the coordination with the local authorities. Second is the emergency kit that you should have in your houses, in your communities, or within your societies. That should be always ready. Third is the early warning systems. This is significant way of reducing the risks of the disaster. Nowadays, we have many modern tools, many communication channels through which the information, the status, the movement of the disastrous activities are being delivered and being shared. So that can be taken care, that should be get connected with each other, and you should also be a part of this channel. Then the home security, of course, you should secure your home by every possible means, like you can connect your digital gadgets with the CCTV cameras, or any other channels or any other monitoring systems can be employed during the disaster for taking care of your properties. And finally, the community initiatives. There are several organizations, national, international, local, as well as the religious, non-religious, government, non-government, private. There are several communities working hard in the directions of the reducing and helping the people, those are impacted by the disasters. So that should be, I mean, you should be, an individual should be a part of these kind of communities, so that easily we can mitigate the overall impact of the disasters. Finally, the disaster management. Like, we are trying to incorporate basic or preliminary principles of disaster into the management into the disaster. So during the disaster events, or after the disaster event, or previous of the disaster, what management principles that we can employ to protect ourselves better, which includes prevention and mitigation, that is the basic principle. Then preparedness, everybody should be ready to face the emergencies, the risks of the disasters. The response should be also recorded properly, and we should also cooperate with this setups which are developed for the response against the emergency conditions. Then there should be a recovery, and finally integration and coordination. These are the basic principles that we can follow to plan the mitigation of the disastrous effect in a better way, in a safe way. So these are the some of the questions. I think by this time you must have get an idea that knowing about the disaster, knowing about their causes, knowing about that impacts, and the ways in which we can protect ourselves, we can mitigate the effect of the disaster. One thing is very sure, friends, that we cannot have any control on natural disasters. If they are bound to happen, that will happen. But at the other end, if we are ready in advance, if we are well equipped and well informed with the help of modern technologies, and we are well connected with the government and non-government agencies, those are working day and night to protect yourself from the disaster, definitely the impact and effect and the severity or vulnerability of the disaster can definitely be controlled. So friends, in this course we have devised total 42 sessions of the online courses, which includes all this major and minor points. Like, it will start with introduction, then we'll learn about types of disasters. We'll also go through the basic principles which are being followed. What are the do's and don'ts during the disaster? What are the modern technologies that are the part of the disaster risk reduction management system nowadays? What are the social aspects? What are the political aspects? What are the short and long term effects of the disasters on human health? We will also discuss global and local impacts of the disaster, how the disaster management is being taken care now in terms of general principle and at a state level, national level, and international level planning. We are also going to take some interesting case studies at national and international level that will critically analyze and critically discuss during our sessions, so that we can have the takeaway from this case studies. We should also learn what is to be done, what is to be avoided from these case studies. Then the importance of the communication, that is also going to be discussed. What is the role of media, that we will understand. Uh, and finally, we will be focusing on, if somebody as an individual would like to take this disaster management or mitigation management as a career, then what are the chances? What are the futuristic opportunities at national and international level? That is also going to be discussed during this course. We will also have the interaction with the people and experts. Those are working day and night in this area, like those are the part of either the government and non-government systems, agencies, communities, and those have gone through several types of the experiences of the facing the disaster related challenges, what they want to say, what are their views, and what are their suggestions and advice to us. That also we will cover in this course. And finally, the futuristic challenges, preparedness, and technological advantages of having or being known or being aware about the disaster risk reduction management systems, that will also be discussed. So friends, are you ready for a detailed journey on disaster risk reduction management? If your answer is yes, then please go to the official website of Swayam. Enroll in this course. The enrollment is just started, and I'm waiting for you to meet you at that MOOC course. And by the time, I would like to wish you all the best and happy learning. So, see you there at the course itself. Thank you all.